Welcome back to your Dynasty Dispatch, where we break down the fantasy football chaos like it's a last second Hail Mary. Whether your league's blowing up over that controversial Dynasty trade or you're nursing a bench of underperformers after a brutal Thursday night thriller, we've got you covered. But let's be real, nothing pairs with your trash talking your rivals and cracking open something smooth and ready to roll. That's why this episode is brought to you by Cutwater Spirits, the kings of premium canned cocktails that make game day feel like a victory lap, even if your squad just got mahomed. Picture this: you're huddled up with your league mates, dissecting why your sleeper running back fumbled the bag again. And instead of fumbling around with shakers and mixers, you grab a chilled Cutwater margarita or tequila pineapple. Boom! 7% perfection in a can, crafted with real spirits and zero hassle. It's like drafting Christian McCaffrey in the first round. Elite, effortless, and guaranteed to elevate your vibe. From their award-winning Plahomas for those sunny tailgates to a spicy mule. When you're feeling extra salty about waivers, Cutwater's got the lineup to crush any post-game loss. Head over to cutwaterspirits.com to find your new MVP drink near you, or snag a pack at your local Total Wine or Walmart. Join the crew, sip responsibly, because no one wants a waiver wire hangover. And remember, great teams don't just win, they celebrate in style. All right, back to the gridiron grind. Here's Josiah.
Thank you, Bryce, for that intro. It was a good intro. Glad you were able to read that off. We want to welcome everyone to the first episode of Dynasty Dispatch, where we will be discussing power rankings, hot takes, matchups of the week. And without further ado, we will be getting into our power rankings for week 8. Now, these power rankings will be straight contention for this year, not necessarily success down the road, but as far as championship hopes go for this season, we will be discussing the power rankings of our dynasty squads. So, with
I should probably
our
pull that up, huh?
yeah, probably no. All right, so we'll be going from 12 to 1. We'll be discussing who we have personally in those spots and why. And then we will be coming to a consensus for that spot and then putting them in a category of either contender, playoff hopes, pretender, or tank and pray. So, Bryce, you want to hit us up with your number 12 spot here?
I feel like it's a consensus number 12 spot. I feel as though Thomas's team is
Oh,
bottom of the barrel,
oh,
side of the street, gutter to die.
Coming out
He
hot.
doesn't have very many bright spots in his team except for Mecca. His high draft ceiling that he was so excited for, Trey Henderson, he actually drafted him with the 4th pick in the draft. Very high. And he's just not very, he hasn't done anything. He had
he
9
did.
snaps last weekend.
Yeah,
So for me, that's the
favorable for
bottom
that.
of the barrel. Who do you guys got?
Oh
Go
man. I mean,
ahead.
can
No,
you,
you got
you
it. You
guys
can
can
take it.
see my screen, right? Looking at his bench or no?
Yeah, we can.
Oh man, I didn't realize how bad it was. Um,
A pretty sorry team.
oh man.
No,
And
you're not
let's not, he
holding
doesn't
anything
even
bad,
have his
Bryce.
own first. He has
He
three.
doesn't
We're
have his
we're
own
we're we're
first.
only we're only talking about contention. That's okay though. We can.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
not talking about future, that's right.
Who do you
Right.
have as your 12th team, Noah?
He did, well, I had Angel.
Okay.
Okay.
That's mine.
Why do you have Angel?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like his team is just worse than Thomas's
Okay.
somehow. But his quarterbacks, I don't know. His quarterbacks, he just traded Derrick Henry for Tony Pollard. Or no, that was Tony
No,
Pollard for
that's cool. We'll
Saquon.
get
He got
real
RJ
quick.
Harvey in for
Yeah.
um Derrick Henry, but
Which,
Spencer
in all
Rattler,
reality, I mean, with that, sorry, I'll let you go. I'll speak on it.
I don't know. Just Spencer Rattler and Cam Ward and then Tua as his quarterbacks. Like what can you really go off with that?
Yeah. Uh,
So
I, I'll agree with you on that 12 spot. I personally have Angel. I think there's limitations to that roster because he has JJ, which naturally is one of your top 10, 15 fantasy assets, year in, year out. So as far as foundations go, that doesn't get much better. As far as one player foundations go, it doesn't get much better than JJ. But outside of that, there's not much to work with at all. I mean, you look at his roster. I mean, it's JJ. You have a good, I think he had a decent draft. It was Cam Ward in the first. I'm not exactly
Scat.
sure. Yeah, Scat. He had a solid draft, for sure. So as far as success down the road, we'll visit that later. But as far as this year
Oh,
goes, I
I'll
have
show you
him at
my
12.
mobile. I don't remember what round he got Scat. I think it was the second, but Scat and Harvey, so I guess he
Yes,
does have a
yeah.
future.
Scat Harvey and I think Cam. Obviously, Cam
In
is.
my
But his
opinion, he
bench is
actually
just
made a
so
great
bad.
with Josh, and I think he actually fleeced Josh. So
Yeah,
With
for
what
the
trade?
we'll come
future.
back to
Yeah,
this in a few years, but right now, I think it's aging badly for Josh. A
that's
team who we'll
true.
see later in my rankings is a. We'll see where I rank him. Okay,
Here,
All
for
right.
the 11th team.
what was that trade?
So
For the
that
11th
12th
team,
spot,
I have Angel personally. I
before
have
before we
Angel.
get to hold up. Before we get to that, Bryce, we got to come to the consensus for that 12th spot.
Oh well, you guys both think
So if it's 2-1, we want to go
Angel.
2-1. Yeah, that's fine. We
Yeah.
can go Angel 12, but then you can explain why you have Angel 11.
So I have Angel 11 because, in my opinion, I think he wants it more than Thomas. I see him doing more waiver additions, and I feel like he has brighter spots on his team. I think Justin Jefferson and Cam Scattaboo and Arade Gadsden is enough to start building around. I don't think Thomas has that will and determination. I think he got a little taste of that cup, and he's just lost that dog in that fight.
Well, he traded
so
three
it's
firsts
And
for
if
DJ
you look,
Moore.
if you look at if you look at his team, it's literally like the real life Ravens. He doesn't have his pick. He's just like giving up. I feel like we might be better off giving up the team to someone else.
Does he have? But no, he has picks,
Giving the
right?
team to someone else.
I
He
mean,
doesn't have
regardless, it doesn't matter. We don't have to talk about picks. It's just purely contention this year. So
Giving
Okay,
the team to someone else.
team
That's
11. Who do you got now?
I guess I would put Angel at 11 then instead of 12, but I had Thomas at 11. So
what same kind of
same, yeah,
reasoning?
same thing as Bryce. Same, basically the same thing Bryce said. I mean,
So we'll go ahead and
he
put
traded
just
three
before I
firsts for
say
DJ Moore and hasn't really had. I mean, he did get a Mecca in the second, but
yeah, no, he had a solid draft, for sure. So we'll go ahead and we'll put Angel in the tank and play. I think we don't necessarily
I
have
put Nick
to.
in here twice on accident.
I guess we don't have to necessarily give rankings, but we could put win teams. I think that'll be easier.
So team 10 is where I think this is going to start getting interesting.
So while Noah is putting in Angel and what will ultimately be Thomas in the tank and pro, I do have Thomas at 11 as well. I think he has young talent. He had a good draft. I think that he has a good foundation as far as a group, a good young talent group. The issue with that is he really just doesn't have enough firepower to contend. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just too young. I think obviously when we're talking about the future, I think you can make an argument for he has one of the brighter futures as far as the league goes. But as far as contention,
I'll give him credit for a good pickup with Joe Flacco. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
For team, we have Angel team 12,
Right.
Thomas team 11. For me, team 10, I have Skylar.
Really?
The reason I have Skylar here is yes, UC is 3 and 4, and Paul's 1 and 6. So you'd wonder why I have Paul ahead of him.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
He's only outscored Paul by 20 points. I
don't know that.
He doesn't have any quarterbacks for this. He's going to lose this week. He has a guaranteed loss this week. I don't know if anyone saw this, but I picked up
There's a bunch of people on bye, right?
I picked up the Carolina backup quarterback this week, so he can't start a quarterback.
Yeah, Stafford's on a bye. Bryce Young's out. Max Jones.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, and I just think that his team is overperformed to start the year, and I think Paul's team. Or we'll get to Paul, but I think his team is worse. I think his team
does have a lot of picks, though. He has.
Yeah, but it's contention for this
year. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
I thought we were just breaking out roster.
So, and then you guys can go into your 10th team.
I kind of got swayed a little bit. I think you're right. I had Paul there, but I don't know. You kind of swayed me.
I also have Paul at 10. I will spoil it and say I have Skylar at 9. So I think those two are interchangeable for me.
Yeah,
Um,
I had the same
I
thing.
would agree that Skylar probably has an extra win that's not necessarily deserved. I haven't looked at his schedule and who he played, but with Paul, I think I was looking at. I was talking to Noah before we started this. When it comes to his starting lineup, like when everyone's healthy, like Paul has a solid starting lineup. Like he it's just like older, like he lacks depth. So if he doesn't have his to whatever 10 starters in, like he doesn't have much there. And because of his age of the starting lineup, like injury issues will occur. And I think that's exactly what's going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and then the quarterback issue, he has Burrow out. And so like obviously when you have Jared Goff and Burrow, I don't think he has a third quarterback, if I'm not
No.
mistaken.
He has
Playable.
commit in his super flex
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, looking at that right now. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So
But yeah, I'm fine with putting Skylar 9. I think Skylar he easily has a top one RB. Like with Bijan, like depending on your view on Dynasty, like whether how much you value young running backs, you could argue that Skylar has a top one asset in fantasy outside of quarterbacks. But outside of Bijan, that it's pretty underwhelming. I would venture to say that he probably has the way I like to look at it, as far as starting lineups go, I kind of put it next to like your normal redraft PPR. If you have players that would naturally start in a PPR league, 12-man PPR league, normal PPR league, and you have players that will start there, that's where I kind of compare it at, and he just doesn't have a ton on his roster at the moment. But like I said, he
That's true.
Bijan as a foundation is pretty much as good as it gets.
yeah,
And he could also, well, I guess we're just talking about contention. I'm trying to, I want to start talking about trades and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm good with
We'll
either
talk
of them
about trades after.
Yeah, we can do that.
he does have Njoku and Ingram and
Yeah, like I've said,
They
him
get
and
going.
Paul both have decent starting lineups. It's just age is an issue, and like
Yeah,
dealing
Paul
with
just made a
injuries.
very questionable trade
Yeah, yeah,
with
I don't.
Saquon.
Yeah, I'm
So
not sure what that was all
I
about.
think Paul just made a good trade actually recently with me. He traded Quentin Johnson and got
For T,
Higgins back, who he can stack with Burrow, which Burrow will be back by the end of the year, and he also got a pick out of that.
yeah, Finn second. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But then he
that's true.
traded Barkley
Yes, it was
for
Saquon for
your
Pollard,
second
Mooney,
and
and
Mooney
Pollard.
and
Yeah,
Pollard, which
which
Mooney
both of
hasn't
those
done
are. I mean,
anything.
Pollard's definitely startable, but Mooney, I think, was probably a 1-year wonder last year with Kirk. Doesn't seem like actually he's been dealing with injuries, right? Right.
Yeah. Yeah, yes.
But yeah, as far as that trade goes, as far as situations go, I don't mind the draft capital, but I wish he probably would have gotten more capital and maybe
that's a pretty
knock
horrible
Pollard
trade.
or
I didn't see that actually.
yeah, especially. I mean, as far as value goes, like it's not too lopsided, but like given the situations, like Josh is going to value
Oh,
Saquon
Saquon's
way
not even
more,
having a good year. I didn't even notice that.
No, he's not.
No, that's
But
not bad.
which is probably what Josh led with was he bought low on Saquon. Is
right.
Yeah.
probably what he led with.
Okay, well we'll get to Josh later. I got
Yeah,
some
that's fine.
stuff on Josh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we can go 9, 10.
Yeah, you
Paul
heard me,
Skyler.
Josh. I know you're listening to this.
I would.
I haven't even told any of them that we're doing this, to be honest.
Oh, I
Only
told
Finn
Josh.
knows.
He said he's gonna listen
If
Oh,
Paul
really?
didn't start,
Yes.
if Paul didn't start 1-6, I would honestly put him in playoff hopes. But
Really?
because of Burrow's injury, I think he has a solid starting lineup.
Burrow's coming back by December.
Yeah.
He's gonna win. Like the thing is, Paul's gonna end up winning 2 or 3 games at the end of the year.
Here's the thing with Burrow, though, right? If you say he can come back right by like the end of December, if Cincinnati's not in contention, they're gonna sit him.
Oh, they definitely will be though.
You think so?
I think that division's that
North
bad. I just think that division's that bad that they're gonna get
AFC North is
so many wins because of that.
Yeah, Joe Flacco might be able to do what he did last week
division's
and feed
horrible.
Jamar and T Higgins both like 35 combined targets. So
Hopefully the Ravens don't lie down, but it looks like they are. Okay.
Yeah.
Number
we'll go number 8.
Number 10.
We'll go 10. We'll go.
I
We
didn't
can
put
go. We
them
can go
in there.
Skylar 10, Paul 9. You guys
Okay.
both.
Number 8, I have Nick.
Okay.
I have Nick here because
I also had Nick there.
I feel like this is the right spot for him. I think his team's solid. He's just not quite there yet. His team is coming together, but I think that there's a lot better teams, and I think that his team is around the middle with these other teams. But if you look at the scoring, he's scored
863.
he scored 863 compared to he's low scoring and he's winning. He's winning, but I think that he's one of the teams that have a good chance to fall out at the end.
Right.
Actually, a great chance because I'm gonna win these next 2 weeks and pass him. So then it's gonna come down to points. He's kind of cooked. So Nick, if you're listening, you need to start scoring some points.
Well, what screwed him is the trade that you still don't agree that you screwed him with in the offseason. So
No, listen. The
has
way I had me
Stevenson
and
and
Bryce had a
Dobbins as his
conversation.
running backs.
Yeah, so me and Bryce had a conversation about that, and I'll let him talk about it if we want. If we want, we can visit that just slightly, or briefly. I won't say Bryce convinced me, but he definitely, I did. He kind of opened up
Well, it's a
another
good
process.
trade, but not for Nick's team, in my opinion.
Bryce, if you can,
Nick had
briefly
no content. No, Nick wasn't going to compete with those running backs either. Anyway, so the fact that he has a cornerstone quarterback that he will have for the next, I don't know, dynasty length, and then he also
real
is
quick
getting.
while you're talking. Sorry to cut you off. While you're talking, Noah, pull up the trade on the screenshot.
And Marvin Harrison is borderline. Like,
Trying to find out my
yes,
phone.
he's starting off slow, but he's
just click
too
on
good.
Marvin.
He's
He's
too good to bust. And that offensive coordinator is a terrorist. I just want to say.
Lewis?
I can say that, right? I can say that.
Probably.
Who are you talking about?
How do I see
the offense coordinator? You go to Sleeper and you click.
Just scroll down. Just scroll down on the. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I didn't even know that's what it looks like.
Jordan Love and Marvin for Bucky.
The value's definitely there.
First
don't get me wrong.
Second, and I believe that first and a second. Who did you use to draft right there?
And Marion Hampton, who has a torn ACL, who wouldn't be playing right now, anyways.
Right, and Bucky Irving isn't playing right now either.
We talking about the same Marion Hampton that was averaging 25.
Oh, dude, yeah, he was good, but I'm saying he's hurt right.
And who did you take with that second pick?
I might have traded it.
Probably. But
anyways, we can discuss that trade package later on another episode. But for now, at the 8th spot, and I'm interested.
Nick, I hope you scoffed when they started talking.
I'm interested where you guys have this person. We got Cosby Mixing Drinks, Mr. Jared Lumen.
I had him there as well.
Yeah, I have him one higher than Nick.
So I will say I have Nick 7. I think these two are interchangeable. Jared has an elite quarterback duo, and I think his floor is really high because of that duo. But in the same breath, Finn last year had Jane Daniels.
And he has JSN.
Yeah. So as far as he has a good 3 to 4 player foundation with JSN, Baker, and Jalen. The issue with that is he has a lack of depth because of that Josh Allen trade. Because Jared is a diehard Bills fan, he probably gave a little bit too much for him. And it immediately put Finn, I think, in contention, but we can talk about that later. So, anyways, but yeah, elite quarterback duo, a good 3 to 4 player foundation he can build upon. I'm not sure what his picks look like, but obviously, as far as contention goes, I think he's middle of the pack. I wouldn't call him a pretender, but I would say he's playoff hopes. I definitely think he's right in the middle. With Nick,
he does have Thomas's. He has Thomas's first round and his own pick, so he does have a top 3 pick right now.
Yeah, that is true.
Probably the number 1 pick because he has Thomas's. He has Thomas's next year's too because of that DJ Moore trade. That's right.
It was the DJ Moore trade. With Nick, I think when fully healthy, Nick probably has the best wide receiver room in the league. I think it's up between you and him, Noah.
What?
Bryce is up there too. I won't get you. I
I
won't
mean,
get.
Bryce
Don't
is
don't
up
get it.
there too.
Don't get it twisted. I think it's like you three, just off the top of my head, without
I
looking at
don't
rosters.
know.
But
I
like
mean, Puka and CD, but other than that, I
Bru-
guess
he has
Dude
Nick
said,
has
said you too, referencing Noah and not the actual best wide receiver. We'll get to my.
You're telling me. So
We'll get to my
you
team.
looking at the roster, he has Rashid. Now, obviously, Rashid Rice 1 game sample size. He should be a wide receiver.
Oh no,
10 to
Nick's
12,
receiving
right?
core is phenomenal.
It's elite.
I agree.
He has Drake London. Once Drake London is getting showered with targets. He just needs to get that chemistry with Penix.
Rashid Rice is good.
And then you have Brian Thomas, which is another conversation in and of itself. And then Marvin. As far as wide receiver rooms go, dynasty wise, it's just there. Like he on any given week he can put up 170, and I think that is the kind of mark for the elite teams in this league. You get up to that kind of like 160, 170 spot, and it's like a group of 4 to 5 teams. And I think he can be there. But in the same breath, his QB and running back firepower is just not there. Like you got Justin Fields and Jordan Love is good, what you got from the trade, but Justin Fields just got benched, is probably not going to come back unless Tyler gets hurt, realistically. Right. And then his running backs are just absolutely atrocious. Much better. But I say that, but like Rashard Stevenson, or Ramondre, excuse me, is still like getting touches because Vrabel has a hard on for him. I'm not sure what's going on there. And J.K. Dobbins is like a low end RB2, I'd say.
Have you seen? I don't know if you guys have seen or our viewers, but when Vrabel was the coach of the Titans, Derrick Henry was getting out carried by Dion Lewis, so it was kind of shades of that. Yeah,
I did not know that. That's crazy. That's a crazy pull, huh?
Interesting.
But yeah, So are we pretty consensus on 7, 8 being Nick and Jared?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 6.
Are we putting them in tank and pray, or where are we putting them?
I would.
Like should there be another tier?
No, I have Nick in playoff hopeful.
Yeah, I would put them both in playoff hopes. I don't like. Yeah. Obviously, it's fantasy football, so you can win. It's a 1 game. Once you get into the playoffs, it's 1 game at a time. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
Any of those
is Nick ahead of Jared or?
No.
Either way, I'm fine with whatever you want to put. I think they're right.
Oh no, yeah, we had Jared ahead of Nick. Okay, that's right. And we had Skylar ahead of Paul, right? Or Paul ahead of Skylar.
That's fine. That's another interchangeable duo.
Okay. So next,
I think we had Angel at 12 though.
We'll do Bryce's hot take and do Skylar at 10.
That wasn't that hot of a take.
Yeah, I think each pair is interchangeable in my eyes. For the first
a little hot.
Like if you look at it, back to Paul. Paul's also has received more points against than Skylar by over 260.
That's true.
160.
Skylar has been getting really lucky as far as points against.
So I think if Skylar had Paul's schedule, he could easily be 1-5 as well.
Is Skylar's points against the least in the league? It is.
Yeah. So in the fact that he's 3-4 with least against is not very comfortable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable.
No, that's fair.
I would be Team 6, who I got as Josh Palafox.
That's what I had.
I also had him at 6.
Yeah,
I think
he has a very
what's surprising is he was last place last year.
I can see his team winning a game or two in the playoffs, but he has a very strong lineup, and I like the trade.
His lineup with that
There's a lot of big names.
Dude, if they can get on track and what the expectations are for those names, like he's putting up he's easily.
No, this guy's team is incredible.
His starting lineup is ridiculous.
But you know who his team reminds me of? It reminds me of Angel's team when we started the Dynasty.
Yeah,
it seems almost as if it's another boom or bust. But is it a boom or bust if he was just in the championship?
Jonathan Taylor's 26. Yeah, true.
So it's funny you mentioned boom or bust because that's exactly what I have his team's weakness as is it's more boom bust risk than I would personally like as far as
week to week. I 100% agree. Yeah.
And so it's the volatility of that lineup is crazy. Like he's either scoring the most in the league or
Jonathan Taylor will be your consistent. Saquon's just been bad this year. Jalen Waddle, I think, will be great this year. DK has been iffy. Harold Fanning, I've loved. Derrick Henry's he's just been on a bad offense.
Yeah, with
Xavier
when Lamar
Worthy
comes back, I think Derek will come
Xavier
will
Worthy has
come back too.
underachieved tremendously, I feel like. And I feel as though his path to being really good, I don't know, with Rashee Rice it kind of worries me a bit because he wasn't doing it alone. Like
Yeah.
you'd like to see him have that Rashee Rice production
Xavier
before
Worthy
Rashee Rice came.
also, I will say, has an extremely specific skill set, and the way Andy Reid likes to use him is kind of like how he used Tyreek Hill, except for the fact that like the the deep threat that Xavier Worthy is different from Tyreek Hill because as far as like yards after catch goes, I think Tyreek Hill has him. But like Xavier Worthy is so like quick in between like that second and third level as far as like getting jet sweeps, like screens, that type of stuff. So like I think he has a super, super specific skill set, and I think Andy Reid does know how to use him. It's just like with Rashee there, like there's only so many targets that Worthy can get now that Rashee's back.
Right. Yeah, I screwed myself in a different league training for Worthy, so that's awesome. I 100% agree with that.
But yeah, so I think we're pretty consensus with Josh at 6.
Yeah, and
Number
especially
5.
with
Oh, sorry.
no,
Sorry.
you're good. No, you're good. I was gonna say I don't understand why you traded for Charbonnet because now it just makes it harder for him to start Walker
Yeah,
or
both.
Charbonnet.
He's
Because he
got yeah,
wanted,
yeah.
I
I
think
know
he was
he
wanting
wanted both, but they're not Monty and Gibbs. They're
It's crazy in saying that, and neither of them will probably even be in the starting lineup of his,
yeah, true.
which is
True.
just wild. Having a team that
Josh is
plays.
just freaking taking apart these bummy teams.
True. It's true.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you could say it that way. All right, what do we have at the 5 spot, Bryce?
I got Finn.
Okay.
I think he's one of the most fraudulent 6-1 teams I've ever seen, and he's about to enter
What?
he's gonna lose this week against Noah, and he's gonna lose against me because he's just about to enter a skid, and his team is overachieved. If you look at it, he's 6-1, and he's only outscoring me by 48 points, and I'm 3-4. That's all scheduling matchups. I know that, like, for example, I haven't had Kittle for 6 weeks, and then I'm gonna get Hampton towards the end of the year back. So my team's gonna come alive towards the end of the year, and I think that Finn is gonna be on the bottom looking up towards playoff time. He's gonna be that 6 spot, 5 spot. I think Josh has a good chance of passing him. I know
Yeah.
Sean will, and I know I will. So
I think
we'll
him and
see.
him and Josh are like at that 6 spot. I think they're pretty much there. It'll be interesting because that 7 spot, in my opinion, could pretty much be anyone but the 1-6 teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, it could be.
But yeah, I would agree. I have Finn at 5, but I would not call him fraudulent. Um, when healthy, I think he probably has, as far as consistency goes, the most consistent starting lineup in the league. Um, this year. I will preface when healthy. He really doesn't have a weak spot except for that running back 2 spot. So like his running back depth isn't there necessarily, but literally everything else is like there's no holes.
I
That
think the running back 2 spot is set. He
I
has
guess
Kyron.
he's try. Say that again.
He has Kyron.
Oh, you're right.
But the fact that he's starting 5 five tight ends is
Well,
disgusting.
he has one.
Like
He sent that to me. No, too. It's actually
no,
funny.
like
Funny
the roster construction is just not it.
You don't think so? What look at all the team. Look at the players he's on bye right now. He's got
right now his points against is 10th. So once that evens out, I'm sure more losses will follow.
a
He's
fair
gonna
point.
lose this week, like I said. He has he's projected to lose by 70 next week to me. And then he's gonna have to string out some wins against some good teams down the stretch when it's Josiah and Sean. So
When you look at his starting lineup, you look at the receivers he has out right now. Garrett. I don't. We'll know. I don't know. We'll know if Wilson's going to play.
dude, don't we all
He
have
has Pierce.
injuries?
He has Ricky out. I mean, that's true. But even I think the lineup he has in right now is not doing him justice because of bias
Like,
injuries.
for
I
example,
think you're severely underrating his
I have
roster.
Tillman, Ridley, Josh Downs, Neighbors all out.
That's fine. No, I'm not disputing
Yeah.
whether or not his team matches up to yours specifically.
No,
I'm just
not
saying.
even that. I'm just I feel
his
like we all have
elite
injuries.
quarterback duo, as long as Jaden's, we'll see how Jaden's this hamstring injury goes. But when
Oh, you got
typically,
injuries.
as expectations go, that Dak and Jane Daniels are going to be a top 3 quarterback duo in the league.
Poor Mike Evans guy over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
His
no, who you
receiver
got?
room is elite, and I think his running backs have gotten so much. He had a really good draft, and I think that helped him a lot, especially with that Josh Allen trade. But yeah,
I think he's I think he's barreling off the back of a few players overachieving, and I don't think that his success in the short term is substantial for the long term. But we'll see. But I highly doubt he's going to rise past 5 in my power rankings in the future. But we'll see. Noah, who do you have at 5?
I had Sean,
okay.
but I feel like that is true. I guess you can interchange. I didn't realize the whole uh, Vince low scoring, to be honest, for being that high. But I don't
Why do
know.
you have Sean?
Sean, I don't know. He has a lot of big names, but they're not doing anything. And then he also has a lot of bums. So like the big names aren't carrying the bums. Noah Gray and Booty. I mean, Booty's done. He's hit or miss, but Woody Marks, Booty, Noah Gray, and Hollywood Brown. Like that's kind of
He does have
what can you
Bowers
do
out
with
right
that?
now. You
Yeah,
got to
true.
remember.
Bowers out. Devontae's on a bye. St. Brown's on a
He's
bye.
also another one of those teams I'd rope in with Josh, where as far as starting lineups
Yeah,
go,
he
he's
has
competing
no
with anyone.
bench.
Yeah,
He has
his
no
bench
bench
is
at all.
worrisome. He has little depth. He also the quarterback issues are a little bit concerning down the road. He did pick up Jacoby, so as if and he has balled out when Kyle's been out. But like Stroud,
And Lamar had
really slow start. I mean, not really slow, but not as you'd expect from a name like CJ Stroud.
right. And then
Um,
Nico, I mean,
yeah, that combo. I think that Stroud starting out slow is hurting Nico as well. Now that Nico, he's still giving you probably about 14 to 15 points a week, but like that's you expect upwards to 20, low 20s with Nico. Like he's a wide receiver one. Like he was the like 4th taken off the board in PPR. So it's
right.
like
And if
you
Woody
expect him to
Marks is
have
your
more.
third best running back,
Yeah.
kind of a problem. No
But Josh
offense.
Jacobs and Javante, I think he lucked out a lot with Javante.
Yeah, he did.
Saying that as a
Because
Cowboys fan, I did not expect him coming off that ACL to do what
Kareem
he's been
Hunt
doing.
is his best backup running back.
Yeah.
Like, no running back depth at all. But
Yeah.
which a lot of people really don't have a lot of running back depth.
That's true. Yeah. I have Sean at 4. I've Finn at 5. You have convinced me to make them interchangeable, I think. Who do you have at 4, Bryce?
I have myself.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think Sean's team is better than mine right now, and my team is going to come healthy to end the year, so
Yeah.
I'm only going to get higher. But right now, it's just been slightly underachieving, but I have a pretty great schedule to close out the year.
Yeah.
The fact I have Tillman, Calvin Ridley, Josh Downs, Malik Neighbors, Marion Hampton, and James Conner
Yeah.
all hurt or on IR right now. I'm still competing and still scoring. I'm 5th in the league in scoring. So the fact I'm 5th in the league in scoring when I just named those names and they're all injured,
Yeah.
it's scary. So I
You
just got Kittle back
definitely
this week.
have
The
you
Gibbs
definitely
and
have
Chase
the
stack.
dude. I remember looking at your team last year, like your playoff lineup. We played in the semis. You beat me in the semis, and
Yeah.
I remember coming out of church that day. It was after service, and I remember looking at, and I mean, obviously, there's, any given week, like it's fantasy football, anything can happen. When I tell you that I wasn't fully healthy that last year, but I was even like I finished out the year strong, and even then, like going into that game, there was just no chance. There was absolutely no chance, and it was just your roster is just so overwhelming as far as depth goes. Like
He
even
scored
with your starting
222
lineup,
in the championship.
yeah, like
Quarterback had
in
7 points.
in a normal PPR extra flex and a super flex league, like that's just insane. But yeah, I'm interested. I do agree with you though. I think you will finish out the year strong. I think it's a slow start.
Yeah.
Hopefully Burrow comes back for you. I think Burrow being out, I will see Flacco absolutely just rain down the targets on
And
Jamar.
I also
Neighbors
We'll see.
being out.
Neighbors,
I
yeah.
really like this underrated pickup I did of I just realized I didn't have another quarterback. I only had 2 quarterbacks on my main roster besides my yes, Finn. Yes, you beat me in that shuck trade, whatever. Okay. I'll acknowledge that. But I picked up Andy Dalton today to make sure my
Andy
opponent couldn't
Dalton.
start a quarterback. Yes, he's gonna start this week. He's gonna start the next couple
Bryce
weeks.
Hunt's already ruled out. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this week when I play Skyler, he's gonna have Stafford out, Bryce Young out, and Mac Jones potentially playing, but we'll see. So I have a free win this week, and then I have a free win against Finn, and then we'll see how things start shaking down. But
Free winning against Finn is crazy.
it's not crazy. He has like half his team on bye, and he's a
So
fraud.
before we get deeper into the top 3 conversation, let's rank. So what? I would assume you'd put Finn in pretenders, Bryce.
Absolutely, he's a pretender.
I would disagree. Not super strongly. I do see where you're coming from.
All
I
respect,
disagree.
though, Finn.
Where should we put him
what
for
do you
the?
think? I think he has
think
better
he's
playoff.
a pretender.
I don't either. I think every
His
team except
team's
for
better.
Bryce and Sean, I think outside of in the playoff hopes, I would put Bryce and Sean probably in contenders. Personally, we don't have to.
Oh well,
I
yeah.
definitely Sean's my number 3 team, so
Yeah. I wouldn't. I think I would put. Oh man.
See, I think there's 4 contenders
because
right now.
of the volatility. I would almost put Josh in pretenders before
I don't think Sean's a contender.
I don't
though,
think
to be
we don't
honest.
have to. That's
no,
fine.
I think there's only 4 contenders. I think it's me, Sean, Josiah, and Noah.
I think it's just us 3 and Finn.
I don't
You think?
I do not think
Finn's team is better than Sean's.
Finn is not.
It's deeper than Sean's. It's absolutely deeper.
Playoff hopeful.
If Sean,
not a contender,
dude, Bryce,
Sean's
I want you to pull up Sean's roster real quick.
Contender.
If he runs into injury issues, he's done for. It's it that like that's
yes, that's where his roster at is that he has to contend, but that doesn't mean that his team will.
It's good. It's definitely as far as
it's carried by St. Brown.
It's good though. It's top. Oh man,
Lamar's been terrible. Stroud's been terrible. Collins has been hit or miss.
Roster to roster, I think Finn has the better roster, but as far as points week in, week out, I think Sean has a better starting lineup than Finn. But I think you're severely underrating Finn's roster, Bryce. I see what you're saying, don't get me wrong, but we're gonna have to agree to disagree on his power, like his firepower. Like I know he's gotten lucky. He's gotten pretty lucky as far as matchups go. He has 932 points against. He's what is he? He's 4th right now in points for. But what's his schedule look like for the rest of the year? Actually,
Sean or
Finn's.
Okay, so I'll go down the list.
Okay.
You know what?
Since we're on the topic, we'll win-loss this. So we'll go. Let me hold up.
And quite literally, when I say he's gonna lose to me, he has like half his team on bye.
Yes. So this week he'll lose to Noah. He has too many people out. So that's 6-2. He'll probably lose to you. Too many. Who does he have out against you?
Fucking everyone. Let's see. He has
Sean. Garrett will. Yeah, he'll probably lose to you. So we'll give it generous to 6-3. Okay, that still puts him in the top 5. Who's he playing week 10?
Is he going to be in the top 5? Oh yeah, no. Is he going to be in the top 5 though? Because I'll be. He'll be ahead of me.
He plays Paul week 10. That's a win.
He plays Paul week 10. Still.
He beats Paul, so that's 7-3. Week 11.
He loses to you.
That's fair. He has. Whoa! Why does he? Who does he have on? Oh, he has. Yeah, we can say that's fine. We'll say he loses to me, so that's 7-4.
I pass him there.
Week 12. He plays Skyler.
It's a 50-50.
50-50.
That week it's a 58-42. My bad. Well,
we'll give him the win. I think we'll give him the win against Skyler. Not comfortably, but I think we'll give him. We can say he's going to win. That's if
I'll give you that.
this is obviously on the notion and expectation that Jane Daniels, his hamstring injury isn't severe. I'll say that.
Dude, if he's
So
out
that's
for the
what
year,
that's
if he's out for the year,
That's 8-4 week 12. Even if he 8-6 is going to get you in the playoffs, especially with the
yes.
bottom four.
I think he's making. I say he's a playoff hopeful. He's just not a contender.
And that's 8-6 if he loses out. He plays Thomas.
He's 100% making the playoffs. I just know he's not a contender. It's because the final four is going to come down to definitely me, Noah, Josiah, and like Josh.
Didn't you just say Sean was your third best team?
Yeah, but
No,
I don't know. You
yeah.
you
Well,
could always
he's
see.
trying to be
You
humble
could always
and not
see.
say he's third.
You could always see Josh coming out.
No.
Okay. So
Okay. All right. Fine. So let's say we can agree to disagree. We'll put Finn on the cusp. So we'll put him in pretenders, but I think
and we'll
he's
come
playoff
back
hopes.
next week and see where
We'll
Jay
just
is.
want it on record that Bryce has him in pretender. Me and Noah would have him playoff hopes. I would
If we're doing
almost
that,
lean
then I
contender.
am putting Sean as well in pretender.
Okay.
That's fine.
I think he'll finish.
I
as
don't
a
think
4
so.
seed or lower.
I don't think so, but that's fine. We
I
can
haven't
put
looked
those
at
two.
the
But
schedule, so I
and
could
a
be wrong.
pretender could be like a team that gets the 1 seed, but we know is going to lose in the first round type thing, like Noah, like before the past. No, not now. You're not.
I
going
did
like
that.
I
did that year one. I did that year one because Sam
That
Howell
was
dropped
funny.
.24 in the semifinal. So
No, you're fine.
thank you, Sam Howell.
This guy's
Appreciate
like
that.
Noah. Anyways, all right.
Yeah, way to
So
rub it in. I'm surprised
the
you haven't
top-
shown off the belt in the first episode.
yeah, that's true. Where's your belt, Bryce?
I still
So
need to
at
give
the
you
three
the.
spot.
I have the plaque thing in this room. I need to give you.
Realistically, I'm fine with whoever you want. 1, 2, 3. I think it's a consensus, us three. And I don't particularly. I think Sean and Finn are like there, but because of injury issues with Sean and Finn, his hitter. I mean, I guess you can call it a hit or miss lineup, but his young lineup. I think it's it's us three as far as contention this year goes, barring injuries. And there's a little bit of a gap, and then Sean and Finn, and you'd probably throw Josh in there.
I agree.
I would personally have Noah 1. I think he has. I think you two probably easily. No, I won't say easily, but you two definitely have the best rosters in the league. Just comparing them, putting them next to each other. I think your knock, Noah, in my opinion, is I think you have a QB limitation on your ceiling as far as play goes because Drake May and Herbo don't have that rushing upside that your Jalen Lamar, Jalen Hurts but really like that is it as far as weaknesses go. Like your roster's pretty untouchable.
Drake May's had 17 rush attempts last 2 weeks.
That's fine. I'll give it to him.
No, you're right.
I agree. He's the next coming, man.
You're right.
Bryce, I have me right now. I have me too, Bryce 3 because of Bryce's slow start, but that can easily flip. 190, 200 on any given week. I think that Burrow injury does hurt you because of We'll see how Flacco does the rest of his time.
Flacco looked good.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I think you have the best depth in the league, as far as startable players, and giving you.
Yeah, the fact I have so many injured players and I still have like a compatible line. I don't know, Rashid Shaheed, Pittman. They're like not scrappier players, but like wide receiver 2s on decent teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I have. My strength, I think, is I have the best running back duo in the league, startable running back duo. If Rico continues to ball out, I would say I have the best running back room in the league.
Better than Ashton Genty and Ashton Genty sucks, doesn't he?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this year contention. As far as Genty isn't flopping, but it's definitely not. I mean, there's not much you could do with Las Vegas's O-line and Gino doing Gino things, but I think my strength is the running back duo or running back room, if you will. And I don't think I have any holes when healthy. Like Brock Purdy's out. I think Brock Purdy hurts my quarterback duo. Yeah, yeah, dude, you have no. I'm so thankful. Actually, you bringing that up, I'm so happy that Wandale is going crazy because he was you could see it, like he had flashes last year, and then like coming in, he has that slot role, and like Wilson always loved. This is when Wilson started. He always loved throwing to Lockett from the slot, like it was a safety blanket. And I was hoping that's what Wandale was going to be. And then Jackson Dart came in, and unfortunately, but fortunately, Neighbors got injured, and now Wandale is just the clear cut wide receiver one. And he was my last pick in the startup, and I'm just so happy that I held onto him. Um, but yeah, I think when my depth could be an issue, in my opinion. I think that like if Rico for some reason either gets hurt, Chuba starts getting more time than he probably should after Rico's just monstrous 2 weeks. That depth dwindles. And then injuries like Mike Evans being out, we'll see how that goes.
He's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah,
That's not good. Yeah.
But I think my depth has gotten better from last year, though. I will say that. Yeah, solidified. I think it's us three. I think it's pretty clear cut.
Finn or Bryce, who would you have?
2 or what?
At 1 and 2.
You just talked about your 1 and 2. Obviously, it's us, but you can.
I have Noah 1 and then Josiah 2. I think Josiah's team is really good, but I think Noah's team is stronger, at least in the regular. Noah's a really good regular season team. Yeah. Like, I'm not even like trying to be disrespectful.
I've said this about myself, you're not wrong.
I just feel I do. Yeah, he's gonna be really good in the regular season, but I don't know how the playoffs will go. Losing Puka and is pretty big.
He's back next week.
He'll be back. Yeah, he'll be back. He'll
on a bye.
Might not be 100%, but
his one loss was to me after putting up 180, and he scored like 120. Like his team like busted. His entire roster busted against me. Pause.
But I do think the championship is a 4-horse race that Josh could sneakily sneak his head into.
I got 150. 145.
Oh, you pull up our.
James Cook had 5. That's why.
Yeah.
James Kamara sucks this year too, so it doesn't help. Drake May sucked. And that's the one good game Bill's had. So every other time I start Bill, he sucks. So
yeah. Yeah. I think if we go to that tier ranking, we can quite comfortably put, it's funny we're doing the podcast, but we probably do have the best 3 teams as far as contention goes.
I know. I didn't really think about that until I started doing the rankings. I'm like, oh.
But as far as future success goes, that's a whole nother conversation. I'm sure we can visit that another time. But as far as contention goes, I think these are pretty good tier rankings. Agree to disagree in some of these spots, but
I agree.
For the most part, yeah.
Any final thoughts, Bryce?
No. Good list. I'm looking forward to next week's episode.
It's just in the darkness. Should we do a game of the week or a upset of the week or something?
Yeah, I'm down to do a little game of the week. Let's see here.
I guess it would have to be you and Sean.
Yeah, I'd probably go me and Sean. As far as I think it's more important for Sean personally. I think he has a stronger.
He has
Sean's not beating.
He has St. Brown and Adams out.
He has like his whole team out.
Yeah. It's funny. We talked about
he has his whole team out. So the 2 game of the weeks are just.
Yeah, it's true. We could put Jared and Nick for the
I was gonna say,
because we were just talking about that last playoff spot and how I think it's up for grabs for those 2.
Them or Paul and Thomas.
Actually,
for the toilet bowl.
Nick needs to keep. If Nick wins out, I won't cast him. So
there's no way Nick wins out. Who's he playing?
He's playing Squinch this week.
No,
true. Well, he has no quarter, or he has Jordan Love, and that's it.
Yeah,
so the Jordan Love trade did save him.
It did save him as far as quarter. So. He literally would not. Well, this week he would. He has.
Okay,
I say he has Gino.
Nick could win out until week 13. Like I'm looking at this. Nick could beat Jared and then Josh and then Thomas and then Sean and then Angels.
I hope he does. I honestly hope he does. I love Nick's roster outside of the running backs, other than quarterbacks, obviously. But like,
But he has Marvin and Brian Thomas on a bye this week. Yeah, I don't
Well,
think.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the Jets owner actively blamed Justin
yeah,
Fields.
I
yeah, I
saw
did see
that.
that.
I
Yeah.
did see that after work.
That was
today.
terrible.
So, well, it's
I
not like
hate
Woody
that.
Johnson's
I
a
understand it,
great
but
owner.
I hate the field slander, man. I love him.
So there goes
I
my
think he's
quarterback in the league.
He's not very good.
yeah, I think we can comfortably say Jared and Nick with the game of the week.
Who do you got winning? I think it's pretty clear cut. Since
I think
Nick's whole
Jared
team's on a bye.
I got Jared, but anything can happen.
He's
I
got
got
Tez Johnson starting out wide receiver too, baby.
Dude, okay, wait, Tez
Good
Johnson, dude, with Tampa's receiver room down like that, dude, I started him this week in my $100 league, and he got me 15. Like he scored. Don't get me wrong, but
He did. No,
like
I dropped him in a different league in our other dynasty league. And I'm very upset about it.
Mike Evans out, Emeka's back, but like he's the wide receiver too with those two out.
Well, McMillan's coming back soon, right?
That's true, but yeah, he
hope.
ended last year strong. What even happened? What is he?
He hurt his neck or something in the preseason. Super bad.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that about wraps up this first episode, man. Power rankings for week 8.
Go Bears. Go Eagles. We're not gonna lose to Jackson Dart again.
Oh man.
Wait, you playing him again?
Yeah, I know. We just played him 2 weeks ago. Giants
against
Vikings, Giants. That's such a dumb schedule.
Wait, you did just play him. Dude,
Yeah,
he might cook you guys again.
Yeah, he might.
Did you see
they're gonna want revenge from absolutely folding the Denver game. That was actually crazy.
But I will say that team won't be nothing until Daboll gets fired. He's one of the worst coaches in the league. He's a horrible.
I think he's he's a player's coach. I don't think he's.
Yeah, I agree because look at Daniel Jones. Look at Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. They did make some decent moves, but yeah, he's definitely like a charismatic. He's like a Pete Carroll coach. Like Pete Carroll doesn't coach with like the intent on like teaching, the intent on like allowing his game to speak. It's more of like a encouragement type of coach, the players coach. Like they want to be around him more than
shoot basketballs in the team meeting room.
Yeah. Obviously, it was the best of both worlds, but yeah. All right. I think that about wraps it up, man.
All right.
First episode.
See everyone next week.
See ya.
See ya. That's
so depressed. See ya.
See ya.
You better not lose to
I'm a hot
Finn this week. All right.